Lugia sees its target, sees its prey. Gonna go for Leaf Storm. That is super effective. It's not gonna be avoided. It's gonna land, and that's all she wrote. Out goes Urshifu. Welcome back to MetroMania. It's the semi-finals already. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. It's come around really quickly, hasn't it? Bloody hell. Last week we saw the final semi-finalist set when Ho-Oh and Lugia took down Urshifu and Urshifu. Now the semi-finals are all set, looking like the battles of the beasts versus the birds on both sides, bizarrely. Let's get the semi-finals underway, though, with Solgaleo and Lunala taking on Cantonian Moltres and Galarian Moltres. So here we go, MetroMania Season 10, Semi-Final 1. Can you believe we're getting close to the end of the 10th season of MetroMania? That is insane. Don't you worry, I've got a lovely theme set up for the next section, the next series. That's the one. We got Solgaleo starting things off with a completely useless Mud Slap, so that did absolutely nothing to its flying enemies. And we see Lunala starts things off with Swift for its team. We've seen both these teams, Solgaleo and Lunala, have been very, very dominant. But Moltres and Moltres have shown that they can pretty much overcome anything that comes in their path. So this is going to be very interesting. We see a swagger from Galarian Moltres onto Lunala there, raising the attack stat by 2 stages, but also confusing Lunala. We'll see how that comes into play going forward. And now regular Moltres is going for entrainment and is going to give Flame Body to Solgaleo. I don't know how wise that is. I guess it gets rid of Full Metal Body, which means that Solgaleo's stats can now be lowered. The only risk is if Galarian Moltres now makes a contact move with Solgaleo, there is a chance that it could, end up burned. But now we see Solgaleo starting off the next turn. It's going to go for Dazzling Gleam, which is going to be super effective on Galarian Moltres, but not very effective on regular Moltres. Not a great deal of damage all round, to be fair, but not a bad move, getting a hit on each of the opponents there. Did get one critical hit in there as well, did our good friend Solgaleo. Here's Lunala, though, getting itself ready, ignoring that confusion, is going to go for Spark, which will be a super effective hit right there. Massive damage to Moltres, that attack boost paying dividends right there, but the Flame Body does affect Lunala, so that swagger is kind of nullified there. But my word, regular Solgaleo gone already. It's only turn 2. Here's the Galarian Wait, did I say regular Solgaleo? I meant regular Moltres. I'm pretty sure I made the mistake there. Hit subscribe if you love mistakes. Here we go. Turn the bell on and all that. Well, that's been a very interesting piece of commentary right there. We'll just swing past that, you foolish fool. It's all right. There's already 37 different comments telling me that I made a boo-boo, and that's all right, because I've recognized it myself. Here's a Seed Bomb from Solgaleo onto Galarian Moltres. Not going to be very effective there at all, but does bring it down to less than half its max HP and activates its Berserk ability, so its special attack will rise by 1 stage. Here's the confused Lunala. Is it going to ignore it this time? It is going to ignore it once again. No luck on that confusion from that swagger that has been very dangerous. And here we see the Tail Whip from Lunala there. They're going to lower the defense by 1 stage of Galarian Moltres. So now Galarian Moltres has an opportunity to fight back now. It's got an uphill battle facing these two very strong opponents. Going to use Nasty Plot and increase its special attack to +3 now, coupled with that Berserk boost it had before. So if it can fire off some special attacks, it does have a chance of maybe taking down one of these opponents, maybe even both of them if it gets very, very lucky. But I guess we'll see, because it's still got to contend with the beast that is Solgaleo with all those resistances as well. Going for Growl, lowering the physical attack of Galarian Moltres by 1 stage. I don't know why Solgaleo and Lunala are not actually attacking right now and are just going for the stat drops. We see Lunala ignoring that confusion once again. What's he got on its mind? Going to go for Shadow Punch, which won't be very effective, but will be not really powered up. Its attack stat is effectively back to normal, I suppose, because it's swaggered, so it's at +2, but it's burned, so the +2 is kind of halved. You know what I mean. Here's a Lash Out from Galarian Moltres. That's going to be super effective on Lunala as a Dark type move. 4 times effective. Massive damage. Absolutely unreal damage right there. Good night, Lunala. It's down to Galarian Moltres and Solgaleo, but Solgaleo is still at full health. How has this happened? Solgaleo is still rocking that max HP. We see Whirlpool coming out from Solgaleo. That's going to do a little bit of damage there to Galarian Moltres. bringing it into the danger zone, but it does mean at the end of each turn, Galarian Moltres is going to take damage from that Whirlpool. Goes for Light Screen. Bit of a wasted turn, really, because even with Light Screen up, I think a special attack is probably going to take you down, especially after that Whirlpool damage. Galarian Moltres basically has one turn left in this game from the looks of it. So this round may well go to Solgaleo. If Solgaleo can pull off just literally any move right now, goes for Confide. It might not even need to pull off a move, actually. Thinking about it, the Whirlpool damage is so close to knocking out Galarian Moltres. Galarian Moltres' special attack there falls by 1 stage, so it's down to +2 special attack. We get a Zing Zap from Galarian Moltres with reduced attack, so not much damage to Solgaleo at all there. There's the Whirlpool damage, and there goes round 1 to Solgaleo and Lunala, so it's time to hear from our sponsors.
Hey everybody, Ace Trainer Liam here to tell you all about the wonders of G Fuel. G Fuel is an energy formula that gives you bags of energy and focus with barely any calories and 0 sugar. And even better, it comes in a massive array of flavors, including the wonderful, wonderful Nemesis tea, which is what I'm drinking right now. Honestly, it's the best bloody drink I've ever drank, and if you use code ACE, you can save yourself money on G Fuel. Get yourself a tub of Nemesis tea, use code ACE for some money off. Maybe get yourself a starter pack if you're new to G Fuel. Comes with a whole bunch of flavors as well as a shaker cup to start you off. It's a beautiful thing. Use code ACE to get money off. It also helps the channel, which is just wonderful. So thank you to everybody that's already used code ACE so far. I appreciate you.
And welcome back to round 2. Solgaleo and Lunala are leading with 1 point. Galarian Moltres and regular Moltres are not quite out of the gate yet. They need to win this round to equalize, otherwise they are completely out, and we will go to a Pride round where Moltres and Galarian Moltres will fight for their Pride. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but we've seen it happen a few times in this contest, so, you know, I'm not exactly holding high hopes. Here we see Solgaleo has used Defense Curl and raised its defense by 1 stage. Its full metal body means that that can't be removed either. Well, I believe Haze could remove it, but I don't think anything else can, like, you can't drop it, basically, with Full Metal Body. I'm fairly sure. Let me know if that's how, if Haze works against the Full Metal Body Pokemon. We see Galarian Moltres is now confused, thanks to Lunala. It's going to ignore that confusion, though, and go for Sky Attack, which is a very interesting choice to move. It's going to be a same type attack bonus move, but it is a 2-turn move, so we know it's happening on the next turn. You kind of hope it's on Lunala because it will be resisted by Solgaleo. Here we see Meteor Beam, another 2-turn attack from regular Moltres, so it's going to absorb some power. Space Power, very specific Space Power, raise its special attack by 1 stage, and it'll be using a Rock-type move on the next turn. So once again, you kind of hope it's on Lunala, because using it on Solgaleo, who resists it, would be a bit of a waste. But we know what the Moltres team are doing this turn. Lunala is going to go for Magnet Rise, sure. Protect itself against Ground-type moves for a few turns, just in case, you know. To be fair, Solgaleo could probably do with that, as we see Solgaleo get ready for its next turn. Solgaleo is going to go for Tea Time and make everybody eat their hell berries on turn 2. Which is a bit of a waste, because you've all only used like 1 or 2 PP each, so you're just raising... Yeah, that's a bit of a waste, and that's worrying because that could turn this battle into a struggle fest if the battle drags on for a little bit longer than, you know, 16 turns or whatever it's supposed to be. 16? I think 16 Metronomes, but they've already restored their PP, so maybe 16 to 18. Who cares? Here's Galarian Moltres, who's confused, ignoring the confusion, going for that Sky Attack. It's on Solgaleo, so it's going to be resisted. Look at that. All that damage for 2 turns used. That's very unfortunate. Here's the Meteor Beam from regular Moltres onto Solgaleo as well. Bit more damage than the Sky Attack, but still quite a waste for 2 turns. You've used 2 turns, both of you, and that's the amount of damage you've dealt to the opposing team. That's not great. That's not a good sign of things to come. We see Sacred Fire from Solgaleo onto which of its opponents here? Onto the Galarian Moltres for a big chunk of damage there, and gets the burn. That's going to be terrible for Galarian Moltres right there. That's very, very unfortunate. Here comes Lunala, though, with Scary Face, going to slow its opponents down. Lunala is going to use Scary Face on the regular Moltres there, dropping its speed by 2 stages. We see Galarian Moltres is confused and hits itself in confusion, so can't make a move. This is looking terrible for the Moltres and Galarian Moltres team. Here we see Psychic Fangs from the regular Moltres there onto Solgaleo. 4 times resisted, barely any damage at all, and there's the burn damage, bringing Galarian Moltres down to less than half its max HP. Interestingly, didn't activate Berserk. Is that a thing? Can Berserk only be activated by direct damage? Here's Rock Polish, though, from Solgaleo, going to make itself that little bit faster right there. I say a little bit, 2 stages of it, of course. It speed rises sharply. Over to Lunala, or maybe I missed something that prevented Berserk from activating. Let me know in the comments. There's the Bone Meringue. Doesn't affect Galarian Moltres, though. Unfortunate for Lunala. Galarian Moltres is confused and hits itself once again. Smacks itself in confusion. It's going to take burn damage at the end of the turn as well. It's not looking good. Regular Moltres is going to go for Roar. That doesn't have any effect. So the Moltres team have really had a garbage turn right there. It's all Solgaleo and Lunala so far. Absolutely barely any offense here from Moltres and Galarian Moltres. Here's Solgaleo, who's going to go for Whirlwind. That will fail as well, just like Roar. So over to Lunala to see if it can do something on the follow-up. It goes for Avalanche. On which of its opponents there? On the Galarian Moltres, and down goes Galarian Moltres. It is out of here. It has achieved barely anything in this battle. Now we're down to just 1 Moltres versus Solgaleo and Lunala. It does not look good. We see dual Wing Beat, which is same type attack bonus on Solgaleo. Once again, really targeting in on that Solgaleo, but not doing enough damage to really be effective in this battle. Moltres really needs to change its tactics here if it wants to, you know, not even secure a place in the semi-finals yet. It's just looking to survive, to have a chance to be in the semi-finals. We see Metal Claw from Solgaleo, which is going to be not very effective, but same type attack bonus. It did a decent chunk of damage there. No attack boost from it, though. And now we see Lunala, who's going to go for Icicle Crash, but it's avoided by Moltres. Now Moltres has an opportunity. It needs to do something here. Something drastic. Goes for Heat Wave. That's drastic. Same type attack bonus. Super effective on Solgaleo. How much damage will it do? Super effective on Solgaleo, and down it goes. So it's just Lunala and Moltres. That could be the move that saves the Moltres team in this battle. I'm not placing a bet right now because Lunala could still pull this off. Here's a superpower, which is going to be not very effective. Still has the potential to do a big chunk of damage. Didn't do that as much damage as we thought, but is going to drop the attack and defense of Lunala by 1 stage apiece. Moltres probably senses the urgency right now. It's going for Yawn. It's going to put Lunala to sleep. Not this turn, but at the end of the next turn. So that's an interesting play right there. That could be detrimental to Lunala unless Lunala can figure something out to try and counteract that. What's Lunala going to do? It needs to start busting out big moves. Goes for Bone Meringue once again. Doesn't affect Moltres. You need to remember, Bone Meringue does not affect the Moltres team. Moltres firing back, though, with no retreat, which doesn't stop you from switching out because there's no switching out in this battle, but you just get yourself a guaranteed attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed boost by 1 stage apiece, which is great for Moltres right now. That's the kind of boost that Moltres needs. Lunala is now asleep because of the Yawn. So now Moltres needs to take full advantage of this situation. It's got to capitalize whilst Lunala is not attacking. Lunala is basically a sitting duck right now. Moltres has got to do something if it wants to stay in the competition. Moltres is going to go for Aromatic Mist. That's a waste of a turn. You can't be wasting turns when your powerful opponent is fast asleep. Bust out a Ghost type move. Bust out a Dark type move. That is Lunala's downfall. That's Lunala's kryptonite. Moltres goes once again with a Thunderbolt. It doesn't have the potential to paralyze Lunala because it's asleep, but big damage to Lunala regardless. Lunala now down to less than half its max HP, 86 hit points left. It's still fast asleep once again. It's still in peril right now. What is it going to do here? Moltres is ready. It's raring to go. It's fired up, pun intended. Goes for tea time, but nobody's got any berries, so another wasted turn. That's 3 turns that have been wasted by Moltres. It's only used the Thunderbolt. Here's Lunala, who's now woken up, so all that time wasted may come back to bite Moltres as Lunala goes for rest. It says, no, I fancy a couple more turns, mate. It's hit the snooze button. It's going to restore its HP back up to maximum, though. This is where Moltres needs to do something. Lunala has given it two free turns. It's going to go for dual Wing Beat. It's avoided by Lunala, who's fast asleep. How do you miss a sleeping opponent, Moltres? You need to screw your head on. Come on, my dude. Lunala is fast asleep. If Moltres can do something drastic right now, it will equalize this battle and save its team from being kicked out of the semi-finals. We see Geomancy from Moltres. That's going to take 2 turns to happen, though, but will up Moltres' special attack, special defense, and speed by 2 stages apiece, which will make it incredibly powerful. There's the Geomancy. Now it's I assume it's definitely gonna move before Lunala, so that could be the opportunity that Moltres needs. We know Lunala's waking up next turn. What is Moltres going to do here? I noticed earlier I did say that they're trying to get a place in the semi-finals. They're in the semi-finals. You know I meant the finals. Don't be pedantic. Here we see Struggle Bug. Not very effective, but it did a decent chunk of damage there, and of course drops the special attack of Lunala, which is going to help Moltres, especially with that +2 special defense right now. Physical defense is something it might need to worry about. Oh, it's a +3 special defense. Never mind, because of the no retreat earlier. Here's an Electro Ball. Did barely any damage. That was a super effective move and did barely any damage. Of course, it was moving after Moltres because it's now slower than Moltres, and that also affects Electro Ball. But even so, here comes Moltres with Head Charge. Doesn't affect Lunala because it's a normal type move, so Lunala avoiding danger there. Now Lunala looks to retaliate with Foul Play. Going to use Moltres' own attack stat against it, which has been boosted, but not quite enough. And the Flame Body puts Lunala on a timer right there. So Lunala is now going to take burn damage at the end of each turn. Moltres is in a dangerous position though, so either of these Pokemon could snatch a victory at any given moment. Here's Moltres, though. Moltres is going to get ready and go for Tail Whip and lower the defense of Lunala. It's really not the time for that. You really, if you're Moltres right now, you want to be focusing on offense. You've got all the power boosts you need to take down Lunala. You've just got to use them. Lunala's going to go for a not very effective Steel Wing onto Moltres, just chipping away slowly but surely. Of course, the damage from that is reduced because of the burn, and there's the burn taking a little bit more of Lunala's HP away. But Lunala really needs to do something. Moltres really needs to do something. This is life or death right now. We got Tri-Attack, doesn't affect Lunala. Moltres missing and wasting an opportunity once again. Lunala is firing back with Wrap, which is going to put Moltres on a timer now. It's going to do a little bit of damage right there, and at the end of each turn, it's going to slowly but surely whittle away at the HP of Moltres. There's more burn damage from Lunala. Here comes the Wrap damage onto Moltres, which might put it in the danger zone. It has put Moltres in the danger zone, so now it's more urgent than ever. If Moltres wants to keep its team in the competition, it's got to do something now. It's got this turn and I think next turn, otherwise it's screwed. Goes for Electric Terrain. What a waste right there. It needs to attack as soon as possible. Lunala now has yet another chance to fire off any move at Moltres and potentially take it down. What is Lunala going to do here? Lunala's going to go for Hypnosis and put Moltres to sleep, which means Moltres will most likely succumb to Wrap if it doesn't... Wait. Oh, it's not grounded, of course. I was going to say, surely it shouldn't fall asleep in Electric Terrain, but it's not grounded. That's very important right there. There's the burn damage on Lunala, the Wrap damage on Moltres. It has literally a turn left. It has to wake up next turn and do some damage. Otherwise, Moltres is out of this competition, and we go to a Pride round. Moltres is fast asleep. There is no coming back from this. Lunala has victory in its sights. It wants to go to the final. It's going to use Oblivion Wing, Shades of Yveltal. That is going to be game. Moltres goes down, and we have our first finalist team, Solgaleo and Lunala. Unbelievable as we move into round 3. Now, can Moltres and Galarian Moltres leave with their pride is the question here. They're out of the competition. Regular Moltres really dropped the ball in the last game. Absolutely. Scuppered a perfect opportunity to equalize. What are they going to do? We've got Reflect type coming from Solgaleo, so it's going to change itself to a Flying and Fire type. Try and remember that going forward. It's now Flying and... yeah, Fire and Flying like regular Moltres. We see Lunala, who's going to go for Ice Punch onto which opponent there? Onto the Galarian Moltres for big super effective damage there. Doesn't get the freeze though. Over to Galarian Moltres, who must be so bitterly disappointed. Goes for Earthquake. Doesn't affect Moltres. Doesn't affect Solgaleo either because it's now a Fire and Flying type. So just Lunala. The Shadow Shield is broken. Lunala taking a little tiny bit of chip damage there. Over to regular Moltres, who must just be kicking itself right now. Goes for Body Slam. Doesn't affect Lunala. Another example of just a completely wasted turn right there. That's so unfortunate. You gotta feel bad for the Moltres team. They've done so well all this way, but Solgaleo and Lunala have just done fantastic. Galarian Moltres avoids the Super Fang from Lunala, and now we have Solgaleo, who's going to go for Solar Blade. Wow, so it's going to absorb some light, and then on the next turn, it's going to fire off that Solar Blade. Won't be very effective, and it'll be 4 times resisted by regular Moltres there, but regular Moltres goes for Autotomize. I mean, still, Solar Blade's a pretty killer move right there. So there's the Autotomize, increasing the speed sharply and making Moltres nimble. Now over to Galarian Moltres. What's it got on its mind here? It's going to go for Power Whip, another Grass-type move, onto which of its opponents? On Solgaleo for some not very effective damage there. It's so sad to see the Moltres team just suffering so much. They've never quite faced opponents like Solgaleo or Lunala, have they? After they did so well against the Mew and Mewtwo team, we see Coil from Galarian Moltres there. Wait, yeah, no, they did face Mew and Mewtwo, didn't they? I almost got my wires completely crossed there. We see Moltres' accuracy raising. Wait, they did that? I'm so confused now. Did they? Here's a searing shot from Lunala, though, regardless. Gotta look at your own brackets, mate. You know, just gonna investigate the brackets right now, because I can't remember who faced who, because I'm, you know, not a professional at all. We see the Berserk activating from Galarian Moltres there, who does suffer a burn as well, though. There's the Solar Blade from Solgaleo onto which Moltres? Onto the regular Moltres, so not much damage there at all. At all. And now we see Galarian Moltres, who is going to fire off a Peck, which, you know, same type attack bonus, onto Solgaleo there for some not really effective damage. They did fight. There we go. I've looked at the brackets. They did fight Mew and Mewtwo. I thought I was going insane. They absolutely did. Now then, as we move forward in this battle, we've got a reminder that the Galarian Moltres and Moltres team are fighting for their pride right now. They have lost. They are not in the finals. Solgaleo and Lunala are through to the finals. We see the Rain Dance bringing the rain, which I think is a bit weird when you've got a fire type on your team. But I guess Solgaleo right now is a fire and flying type, so the rain could benefit the Moltres team. We see Solgaleo go for Burn Up, going to remove its fire typing. Very interesting there. So the rain will reduce the power, but that Burnout does a decent amount of damage there to Galarian Moltres. So now Solgaleo is a pure flying type, because that's how Burn Up works. Not very often we get to see Burn Up in action. It normally fails in Metronome battles, because normally it's not a fire type using it. Shockwave from Lunala doing big damage there to Moltres. Massive, massive damage. And now Galarian Moltres looks to fire back. It's going to go for Floral Healing. Wow, so it's going to heal Solgaleo by 50% of its max HP, so it's going to restore Solgaleo back up to maximum health. I guess they just want Solgaleo to do well in the finals. They're just saying, good luck, my dude. Galarian Moltres taking more burn damage, probably has like one turn left in it. Solgaleo and Lunala have just been absolutely unbelievable. Not just in this battle, but throughout this competition. We see Defense Curl from Moltres. Going to increase its defense by one stage, probably very aware that its partner Pokemon is going to faint once again. And now Lunala looks for the retaliation. Lunala is going to fire off Healing Wish. It's going to fail, unfortunately. So over to Solgaleo to try and pick up the slack there. Solgaleo is going to go for Sweet Scent and lower the evasiveness of its opponents. Very, very interesting play there, because Galarian Moltres is about to just completely be knocked out. So it's not even worth dropping its evasiveness. And we see Galarian Moltres, though, looking for a response. It's going to go for Ice Fang. It's avoided by Solgaleo. Very unfortunate. There's the burn damage. Down goes Galarian Moltres. And it's just regular Moltres versus Solgaleo and Lunala once again. So unfortunate for Moltres here. I swear I keep saying regular Solgaleo. I don't think I am. I think I'm saying Moltres, but who knows? I'm old. Here's Shadow Force, though. So Moltres is going to vanish. That's going to be super effective on both its opponents, but will be 4 times effective on Lunala if it hits. And now we see Lunala going for the Metronome. No opponent there to hit, though, so the Tail Slap is going to be avoided. Solgaleo gets ready with its own Metronome. And we see Flare Blitz, which is also avoided by regular Moltres. We know that Shadow Force is coming on the next turn. We just don't know who it's going to be on. My money would be on it being on Lunala, but I never get what I want in these battles. It's on Solgaleo. There you go. So not much damage to Solgaleo. It's not super effective on Solgaleo either, because it's a flying type right now. Good point. Here we see Gyro Ball from Solgaleo, which is not going to be very effective on Moltres, but chipping away slowly but surely at the health of Moltres, who just wants to leave with its pride intact at this point. Its partner Pokemon is out of here. We see Wood Hammer from Lunala, which is going to be 4 times resisted. Not much damage at all. Tiny little bit of recoil damage to Lunala. But once again, Moltres, I feel, is just being toyed with at this point. I don't feel like Moltres really has a chance against these two. I think they're just toying with it. We see, call me right out there. Milk Drink from Moltres going to restore its HP by 50%, keeping itself in this contest this little bit longer. Wants so badly to leave with its pride right now. We see Solgaleo going for Fake Out. That's going to fail because it's not the first turn. And now Lunala is ready to go. Lunala's going to go with Hone Claws, increase its attack and its accuracy by 1 stage apiece. Doesn't really need to, because Moltres has already got that lowered evasiveness. And now, what's going to happen next? The rain is gone, so Fire-type moves are back up to their normal power for those keeping score. And Water-type moves are now back down to their regular power. Oh, we got Moltres starting off on the next turn. What's Moltres going to do here? It's going to go for Icy Wind, which is going to reduce the speed of its opponents and damage both of them. Not very effective on Solgaleo, though. Oh, it is super effective on Solgaleo. It's a flying type right now. Of course it is, you silly, silly fool. So Solgaleo, that, the burn-up from earlier, not the burn-up, the reflect type from earlier, not exactly paying dividends. Also the burn-up, I guess the combination of those two moves. Little, not very effective. Absorb from Solgaleo. Gonna drain a little bit of Moltres' energy there. Just a little bit of chip damage once again. We see Lunala, though, who's gonna fire off Play Nice. So it's gonna lower Moltres' attack stat by 1 stage. They're just messing with it. I feel really bad. Solgaleo and Lunala are genuinely bullying Moltres at this point. They know they could take down Moltres at any given moment, and they're just not giving Moltres the satisfaction of even being able to leave the arena. We see Moltres with Strength, which is going to be neutral damage to the current flying type Solgaleo. And now Solgaleo with Metronome. What will it do? It's going to go for X Scissor, which is, again, 4 times resisted. They're just chipping away at Moltres. They could do anything, and they're just going, no, we want you to feel every little bit of pain. We see Lunala with a Mud Slap. It doesn't affect Moltres, and they know. They know Moltres just wants to go home and cry into its pillow because it failed to get to the finals of MetroMania Season 10, and they're just not letting it leave. Moltres goes for Bind, and is it going to land? It's going to land on Solgaleo, so it's going to slowly but surely wear away at Solgaleo at the end of each turn. That's the best way to get rid of a Pokemon like Solgaleo. To get rid of a Steel type in Metromania, give it a move like Bind. Give it a status condition like Burn or something. I guess Burn is the only one that would actually work. Give it Infestation. We see Venoshock bringing Moltres down to less than half its max HP once again, and now Lunala is following up. It's going to follow up with a Headbutt. Let's see how much damage that does to Moltres there. Not a decent chunk of damage, but still significant enough to, you know, warrant Moltres worrying a little bit. Solgaleo is brought into the danger zone by Bind right there, so it's not got many turns left in it. Moltres may bring it down to just itself and Lunala. Once again, like the previous round, we see Ice Shard from Moltres onto Lunala. I would have personally focused on Solgaleo because you could have probably eliminated it at the end of this turn. But by all means, Moltres, you do you. We see Trick or Treat from Solgaleo, gonna add the Ghost type to Moltres there. So it's now Fire, Flying, and Ghost. And I know you guys love to do it. So let me know down in the comments what Fire, Flying, and Ghost types, weaknesses, and resistances would be. We see Light Screen from Lunala, reducing the power of special attacks, dragging this battle out even longer. Thank you, Lunala, for the ad revenue, but you only need to get the video to 8 minutes now. Solgaleo's hurt by Bind, but not enough to bring it down to fainting range. So Solgaleo still has some turns left in it. We see Moltres getting ready. Moltres is going to fire off a Substitute. So it's going to hide behind a Substitute. It's brought itself dangerously close to fainting, but putting up that Substitute is going to make it, you know, just survive a little bit longer, so maybe it has a chance to leave with its pride. We see a not very effective Play Rough from Solgaleo. You got to think that's not enough to break that Substitute. Depends on how much power's behind it, I suppose. Not very effective. Substitute still intact. Here comes Lunala with Night Days, which will be super effective on the now Ghost type Moltres. But of course, the Substitute is going to take all that damage, but that Substitute will already fade as well. So a bit of a wasted turn there by Moltres. There's the Bind damage, though. Is that enough to take out Solgaleo? It is, so it's down once again, just like round 2. It's down to Lunala and Moltres. One-on-one, but Moltres is in a very difficult spot here with just a few hit points left. What's its last-ditch effort to leave with its pride going to be? First impression, going to fail. It's a first turn move only. And now we see Lunala going for block. Doesn't affect Moltres because of the ghost typing, though. So Moltres is somehow still in this. Moltres is here and ready, though, with the Metronome. What will it do? It's going to go for Powder Snow. Very interesting play there. There's the Powder Snow on Lunala for a bit of chip damage there. Doesn't get the freeze. Lunala's ready, though, to fire back. And Lunala's going to go for Flying Press. Doesn't affect Moltres once again. Shades of Holucha there with the Flying Press, but isn't able to hit because of that ghost typing that Solgaleo added. Moltres is going to go for Parting Shot, but it can't leave the battle, so it's just going to get the stat drop on Lunala, which is 1 stage to attack and special attack there. With the Parting Shot. So Lunala, what is it going to do? It's going to finally have mercy. It's going to go for Anchor Shot. That's got to be it. That's got to be the end of the battle now. That's got to take out Moltres, and it does. Lunala and Solgaleo 3-0 against Moltres and Moltres. So they are going through to the finals. No more Moltres team. They tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, they're not going through to the finals. So we have our 2 finalists set up. Next week, Zekrom and Reshiram will take on Lugia and Ho-Oh to see who else joins Solgaleo and Lunala in the final.
So thank you for watching another episode of MetroMania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Share this video with a friend. Come and hang out in my live streams over at twitch.tv/AceTrainerLiam. And of course, use code ACE to save money on G Fuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.